Your dozer sounds like it's chewing gravel, but it still drives fine. That noise just cost a guy $3,000. He swapped the whole pump, still screaming. Here's what nobody tells you. That sound has 11 suspects, and the guilty one is usually the cheapest thing on the list. Most mechanics never get there. They hear a scream, blame the big pump, and start throwing money at it. But your machine is telling you exactly which suspect it is. A high whine is one story. A knock, like marbles in a can, is a completely different one. Same noise, but the fix can be $2,000 apart. So before anyone opens that pump, we line up all 11, starting with the one that fools almost everyone first. Suspect number 1 is the one every mechanic walks right past. Too simple to be the problem. Your oil. Not whether it's there, you can see it in the glass, but whether there's enough and whether it's the right grade. Run it low or fill it too thick, and the pump can't pull oil fast enough. This tank holds 66 liters, but runs on 47. Let that slide, and the pump sucks air instead of oil. That's your whine. Not a $3,000 pump, just a lazy top-off. But say the oil's full, fresh, and exactly right, and it still screams. Then something in this tank is choking the flow before it reaches the pump. Suspect number 2, the strainer. Every drop the pump drinks passes through this little mesh basket first. Look, half is still open. Half is packed solid with sludge. The pump pulls hard, but it's sipping through a straw that's half plugged. Tank reads full, oil's perfect, so nobody looks here. They swap a clean filter and the scream never stops. Pull the basket, hold it to the light. If daylight barely gets through, that's your whine. But say the mesh is spotless, then air is sneaking in somewhere before the oil even arrives. Suspect 3, the suction line. One loose fitting, that's all it takes. Pump pulls a vacuum and sucks air straight into the oil. See the bubbles? Not starved now. Foaming, same whine. Every gauge still reads fine. Here's the trick that costs nothing. Engine running, squirt oil around each fitting. Noise drops for a second, found your leak. Charge pressure under 441 psi backs it up. Snug it down. Done. But every joint's tight and it still screams? Then the pump pulling all this oil is the thing that's worn out. Suspect 4, the charge pump. The one the whole shop points at first, before checking anything else. 2 rotors, worn slick. Once that gap opens, the pump's just spinning for show. Pressure won't touch 441 psi. 40 cubic centimeters a rev, might as well be 0. That's your deep, steady scream. But here's what the parts counter skips. You don't always buy a new pump. Pull the rotors, run them to a machine shop, resurface them. Fraction of the price. Now, pump's clean and it still howls? Then it's the filter feeding it. Suspect 5, the charge filter. Cut one open and look. Half gold, half packed with black grit and metal shavings. Oil can't get through that. Pump's right there, starving on a trickle. Same scream, one more time. But this suspect rats itself out. Your monitor already knows. Pull up code 40910. Bit 4 reads 1. Filter's plugged. No teardown, no guessing. The machine told on itself. Most guys just never asked. Fresh filter, scream's gone. Clean filter, and it still howls? Then a little valve up top is dumping your pressure. Suspect 6, the charge safety valve, up on the pump. Tiny thing. One job, cap the pressure. Wear that cone tip or tire out its spring, and it chatters. That's your high, thin whine. Comes and goes. Should hold 441 psi, dead steady. Before you condemn it, try the screw. Torque it to 40 pound-feet. Sometimes that alone settles it. Now remember this little valve. There's a twin, same shape, same trick, down in the motor. Plays a whole different game. Here's that twin. Suspect 7, same valve, wrong end of the machine. This one sits in the motor, and it's sneaky. Sitting still, dead quiet. Drop it in gear and roll, that's when it screams. Worn cone, tired spring, and it dumps pressure at the wrong moment. Its number's different too. 412 psi, but only while you're moving. So here's the tell. Whine parked, blame the pump valve. Whine only rolling, it's this one. Same part, different shift. Now the cheap suspects are done. Next one costs real money, the pump itself. Suspect 8. This is the one you pray it isn't. The pump itself. Hand on the housing, quiet prayer. Please, not this one. Because this is the $3,000 scream. Worn plate, hammering pistons, and a repair bill that ruins your week. Rebuild, replace. Either way, it hurts. So go ahead, say the prayer, cross the fingers, beg for it to be something cheaper down the line. And here's the twist that keeps you up at night. It usually is cheaper. Way cheaper. We've still got 3 suspects, and the last one makes grown mechanics feel stupid. Suspect 9, the cheap one hiding behind the pump. A high-pressure hose. One loose fitting and the whole line shakes and spits oil everywhere. That shudder sounds exactly like pistons hammering inside the pump. Exactly. And no wonder, there's nearly 7,000 psi screaming through that line. Guys feel the knock, swear it's the pump, drop $3,000 on a hose that needed a wrench. Grab the fitting, loose or leaking, there's your knock. Tight and the pump's clean, then the motor on the far end is chewing itself up. Suspect 10, the motor. Same nightmare as the pump, just the far end of the machine. Worn inside, it knocks under load, howls on the move, and just as brutal to crack open. So stop and count. You've now chased the 2 priciest parts on the machine, prayed over both, and it's still screaming. That's the wall every mechanic hits, broke, out of expensive answers. Because the real culprit was never expensive. It's the cheapest fix on the list, and skipping it just cost you $3,000. So here it is, Suspect 11, the one that makes grown mechanics feel stupid. Air. Just air, trapped in the system. Change your oil, forget to bleed it, and that whine shows up instantly, sounding exactly like a dying pump. Crack the bleeder on top. Oil seeps out, air's gone. Tighten it, idle 10 minutes. Done. Free. 10 expensive suspects, and the guilty one was 2 minutes and a wrench. So it's your call. 9 minutes watching this, or $3,000 because the parts counter swore it was the pump. If this saved you that bill, like, comment, subscribe. Next machine that screams, you'll already know.